destination for investments, or are people going to continue to sit on cash and sit in treasuries of some of the larger countries, industrialized nations of the world?
Well, yes, of course, a lot depends on how the authorities handle this kind of situation. As I mentioned, if you have a situation where the ability to buy and sell is restricted and where there are controls on capital movements and so forth, then there will be no flows into the emerging markets. Now, of course, most emerging markets are open and are liquid and are traded, so that doesn't present a major problem. And there will be flows into those countries because those countries are growing the fastest. They are undergoing very rapid growth, and they will continue to do so. And as you mentioned, the average growth of these markets will probably be about 5 or 6%. China, as you know, is growing at 7 or 8%. So you will continue to see a very good growth in this part of the world. But you must remember the concerns regarding foreign exchange controls, regarding restrictions on market movements and so forth will inhibit the inflows into some markets because these investors want to be able to exit as well as enter.
So I guess I think it's very apparent that the floor of the Karachi Stock Exchange is potentially going to be a big hindrance in the future and a big shattering catalyst for the sentiment of some of these investors. But if you may, there has been a recent transition to democracy in Pakistan, and obviously that brings with it its own teething issues. Now, is that a change that you are encouraged by, where in the short run there may be decisions that foreign investors are not happy with, but do you believe from a Pakistan perspective that the decision making, especially in terms of providing an enabling environment for investment, could potentially improve? Or has your... Maybe I was asking too direct a question. I think we're going to try again to reconnect. Sauce.
Hello?
Sorry, Dr.
Sorry, we got
Mobius.
cut off.
Really sorry.
Yes, could you repeat that question, please?
Yes, the question is that there have been certain decisions recently, like the floor in the capital markets, which have really hampered the confidence that foreign investors had in Pakistan. But what you would potentially appreciate is that there has been a transition to a democratic system, and that could have brought some teething issues in terms of decision-making ability upfront that comes with democracy. Now, with this transition, has your view of Pakistan and its government's ability to make good decisions improved, or has it worsened?
Of course, the situation in Pakistan has worsened. And of course, there's no question about that because of the problems with Afghanistan and the changes in administration, the assassination, etc., etc. So the view globally, I believe, and the perception is that Pakistan is much more unstable from a political and military point of view. And of course, I believe most people, most investors are adopting a wait-and-see attitude and hoping that the situation improves. And of course, one sign of that would be a more liberal environment in the stock exchange and in the foreign exchange regime. Changes like that will certainly result in more confidence.
Well, we won't take a lot more of your time. One last question. Let's assume the market does open sometime very soon and it falls by maybe 20% in the first couple of sessions. At that level, will you be a buyer or a seller?
We possibly would be a buyer, but of course it depends on what other markets around the world are doing. If the valuations in Pakistan are more attractive than valuations in other parts of the world, then we would probably be a buyer, provided that the foreign exchange situation is such that we're able to get money in and out of the country. So definitely, we could see opportunities in such circumstances.
Dr. Mobius, thank you very much on behalf of BMA and all those present here at this investor forum. We'd thank you very much for being here. Muddassar, would you like to?
Mark, on behalf of all our guests here today, on behalf of BMA, a very grateful thank you to you for taking your valuable time out to share your thoughts with us. And I was before we had you connected, I was just sharing with our audience that Templeton celebrated, I think, 25 years, you were telling me, last year of their anniversary. And I remember asking you that when Templeton started, what were the assets under management? And I think you mentioned a figure of about $80 million in your first year. And I looked on your website, I think last year you have about $650 billion. So I think given that scale of growth, I think in the next 25 years we can look forward to some very, very positive news flow from Templeton. Thank you again.
Well, thank you. We are continuing to follow the situation in Pakistan, and as you know, we are invested in Pakistan, and we intend to stay invested, and we look forward to further improvements in the market there. Thank you very much.